Hi everybody, welcome to Scary Breakdown. I'm your host, Sarah Hoffman, and I have with me my co-host, Jim Aldrich. Hi Jim, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. How you doing, Sarah?
Fantastic. Ready to get into this song? This song today is NoPuedoVivirSinTi, which is a song that he released on SoundCloud, and he followed it up later with a demo on Broken Images, which was released on YouTube. And the song is at the beginning. It's the first song on Broken Images, so 0.00. And there's a lot to say about this song. And this was my first favorite out of my top 5 on Broken Images. We're going to play a little clip here. Baby, I'm just lost, yeah. Without you by my side tonight, my side tonight. Baby, I'm just lost here without you. I don't wanna fall out of love. So, in talking about Scarypoolparty and influential songs that he has, first of all, what are the only songs that he actually sings in Spanish in? Which we can't leave that out. I know a lot of fans would love to hear more music in Spanish from him. And La Paradis, that he just came out with but didn't release. He did that at the concert that we were at. I thought that might have Spanish in it. I didn't hear it directly. Did you? I'm not sure.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't hear it either. So this may be the only song that he has with Spanish in it. I couldn't leave this song off my list because as a love song, it just has that longing and that heartache to me. I relate to the song a lot. I can't pretend this is the song that, besides 10 years, probably reminds me the most of the love of my life. Just, the part that says, so understand that I won't pretend that I don't care, that I don't want you. Now you're tearing up my heart, babe. Those 2 lines alone, 3 lines, just every time I hear them rip through my soul because that is how I felt. And I couldn't pretend. And he has this crazy ability to relate to everybody on some level with the same lyrics, but they feel differently about different situations. And this is one of those songs. I also think it is one of the most beautifully composed songs that he has. I love the classical elements in the beginning and at the end. And the funny thing is, I heard that sound effect, the shaker effect at the end, in one of his newer songs that he just released. I can't recall offhand. But I was listening to it thinking, oh wow, that is in the song. But I think that composing wise, this is just such a beautiful composition in the way that it is structured, and you can hear his voice. And Corey Jacobs recently said about him that he does songs for different reasons. Sometimes he does songs to play music, and it's all about the music and his playing ability and what he's playing. And sometimes he does songs to tell a story. And to me, this is one of those songs that just tells that story about not having the love of your life and being lost and not being able to hide it from anybody. And so for me, this song highlighted his voice and the lyrics, much like Return to Sender did. And I just am in love with everything about the song. So I could keep talking, but I'm going to let you talk now.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. Yes, this is the original. This was one of the songs that was there when Idol released his audition, and we went looking for other music. And from the very, very start, it took me a day or two. I actually was slow as a turtle getting to it. and I finally found it on SoundCloud. And this one stood out. This and a few others in that group. This one stood out to me. First of all, of course, it had Spanish in it, and up to that point, I hadn't heard it. But it stood out to me as being melodically just one of the most beautiful songs up to that point I had heard. It stood out to me as being one of the steamiest. And after having heard you speak, I want to not spend any more than a second on this, except to say that there are certain people who are, like you've said before, they're people that really go to the lyrics of a song and get a lot of meaning out of that song based on the lyrics. And there are people like myself that honestly could listen to a song many, many, many times and just get into it and get into its layers without ever approaching that side of it. And so the impression that just this song alone, I mean, you could sing in another language, for example, had on me was that it was a very sensual, very steamy song. And that's one man's personal opinion right there. But let's face it, when you actually go and look at the lyrics, it is a bit earlier stage in the relationship than where he usually writes. I mean, he's usually writing at those last stages of a relationship before breakup and even the stages after relationship. And here's one that seems a little bit earlier. He's in a fighting stage. He's still in this thing and he's still explaining himself and she's making him feel certain ways but it still feels like he's in there fighting. And I don't know. That's sexy to me. And again, that's just one man's opinion. But you spoke about the classical beginning and ending, and it occurred to me that my impression of Doom Hologram, the EP that he just put out, most of us know that already, that the songs were broken down into sections, and those sections almost started to feel like classical movements. They were so seemingly disconnected, but still complementary to the other parts of that song. And the song seemed complete and whole to me, but it started to have that feel to it. And he does that a lot. So these musical breaks, the piano in the middle of it was so simple. It wasn't, there was nothing showy at all about it. It was a very simple section there that very powerful break in the song. And again, I'm going to back off trying to analyze it anymore, except to say this song and some of these earlier songs that we've been taking a look at work so well, as pop songs, as listenable pop songs that are still experimental as Alejandro is and was from day one. And yet I could still see these songs becoming very popular and listenable to in whatever pop format that people are doing that now.
No, I totally agree with you. I think that this is another one of those songs that is musically complex, but he does that a lot, I find. If you look at the sheet music to any of his songs, they are uber complicated. Even the simple songs have layers that are just unbelievably complicated sometimes when you're looking at the sheet music. And I don't know how to read sheet music, but I have talked to people that do. And they look at his sheet music and they're floored by the level of complexity that he has and how he puts things together as a producer. And producing, let's not, forget the fact that he is a talented songwriter, he is a talented guitarist, a talented piano player, he plays the keyboards. But above and beyond that, and he's a talented singer, above and beyond that, he is an amazing producer. The way that he puts things together and puts sounds together and his reasons for doing that, I think are just, they blow my mind constantly, because you'll hear a song out, or you'll hear it on Spotify or Amazon or wherever you're listening to it, and you put the headphones on and all of a sudden it's this enveloping experience that you get lost in. And I've had this happen many times listening to his music. I'll be on YouTube and I'll listen to music, and before you know it, it's 2 hours later and I'm still listening to Alejandro music, because I kind of go down what I call the Alejandro hole, and I just get stuck in the music and the lyrics and the videos, and just, it is this whole world of feeling and sound that I can't seem to escape.
We always tend to pull back and towards the end of these little talks and give kind of perspective analysis, and I like that. It's really hard not to. My early impressions of Radiohead back in '96 when I stumbled on them is there's like every single of these songs has something to offer. I mean, they weren't throwing anything in without crafting it into something that obviously they were happy with, and I accepted their standards very early on, and over all these years they haven't disappointed. Alejandro doesn't either. He's stretching us. He's pushing us. in directions musically. Some of us, haven't gone as far as what we preferred over the years, and I just think it's wonderful. I mean, there's some schooling in that, and sometimes we need a little schooling.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that he has definitely exposed me to things I wouldn't have listened to. Code Orange being one of those bands, I would have never listened to Code Orange. And I listen to them now on a regular basis. So I am appreciative of the experience that is Alejandro Aranda, and I will always be grateful for that. And we are going to wrap up this episode here, but I do want to say thank you to my co host, Jim. Dude, I just love doing these projects with you, and I hope that we continue to work together for a really long time.
You're welcome, Sarah. It's always a pleasure, and we could not ask for more deserving music to discuss or a more deserving musician. And we've been doing this for going on a year and a half now, and I hope it continues.
Me as well. I look forward to a long relationship. And hey, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And if you like our channel, please like and subscribe. We would really like to stay in touch with you. We appreciate all the comments and love that we get. And we're out of here. Bye.
Oh, I love how the way it breaks me down. Oh, I love how the way that it takes me, searching for more. Let go of all of our memories, my soul, dissonant harmonies. There's no turning back for me. Yeah. Feel like I'm waiting, separating from the time zone. Feel like I'm fading into the distance of the unknown. Feel like I'm falling and I'm longing just to come home. Oh.